Now starting three. Oh, and we're live.
I didn't think
Legal
you should.
Snags 2020.
What are you saying about 53 inches?
That's not big enough.
It's not big enough.
You need more?
Yeah, always.
It's never big enough, man.
What
Size matters. And we're
about
talking about backdrops.
what about width?
perps.
Because it says 18 feet.
Jesus Christ. Photo backdrops. Let's clarify that for the audience. So
It's
they don't think
actually 53 inches wide and 18 feet long.
it is all about the girth, I guess. Yes, it is. Are we still talking about backdrops? I thought we were.
I don't know anymore.
All right. Well, with that being said, welcome back, everybody, to the Backstage Boys podcast, episode number. Basil, tell me what it is. 54?
54.
54, first one of 2020. Happy New Year, everybody. This is Trent with my co-host.
Basil.
And we're joined by Mr. Nate Speckman, the referee extraordinaire. Say hello, Nate.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Nate's here with us. We're here. First podcast of 2020. It's only been about 40 hours-ish so far of the year. How's 2020 treating you guys? Nate, I imagine your sound is amazing. I feel like 2020 is off to a great start just based on your phone alone.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm not in the Chicago River today, so.
Wonderful. Basil, how is your 2020? It's we're deep into this first 40 hours here. How you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Wonderful. Well, guys, only another 363 days to go, and let's make it some good ones here. But we're not talking about that, guys. We're talking about the Windy City Classic, the 15th Windy City Classic that took place just a few days ago on the 28th, boys? Am I getting that right? Nate, stats, please, verification.
I'm pretty sure it was the 28th.
28th of December 2019, so we're going back in time a little bit. But guys, it was the 15th annual Windy City Classic. We're going to break it down. We're going to discuss it, the feeling, the vibes, the tears, the emotions, the anger. There was anger, the FITE TV, the pay-per-view, the nudity. I mean, everything that happened on this show, we're going to talk about it. And you heard that right. There was nudity. And I got to ratings. I got to think ratings. I got to stir the pot a little, early in the show so we keep them for another hour. But the nudity, yes. Anyway, so boys, let's just talk real quick. I want to start with Nate on this. Nate, how many Windy City Classics have you been to, worked, attended in total? How many have you been in the house for?
Oh man, hang on, let me get my notes.
Nate has notes.
Wait, you have notes of how many you've attended?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Fantastic.
I have a very detailed list of every show that I've been to.
Jesus Christ.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's impressive. I'm not going to be able to tell you guys how many I've been to. I started with Nate for that reason because I can't tell. I figure Basil will just take a guess. And
so this is the second Windy City Classic that I have worked.
Okay.
I think it might be the third or fourth Windy City Classic that I have been to, but I have to check.
Not bad out of 15. That's pretty good. Basil,
I haven't lived here that long.
That's true. And to say you've done 4 out of 15 isn't too bad for a non-native. Basil, you want to just guess and just throw a number out of how many you've been to?
Okay. So I've worked 16, 17, 18. Wait, no, I started working in 2017?
No.
I started working in 2017.
17, okay.
Yes, 17, 18. So those 3 I've been to, or I've worked.
Yeah.
And then I've been to, I want to say it was at least 6 or 7 before that.
So quite a few,
Yeah. I mean, so many. I've been to all of them when they were at Logan Square. Because that was like 2000, I think 2015, 16, and 15, 16, and 17 were all at Logan Square.
Yep.
18, 19. were back at Bourbon, or were Bourbon, and then the other ones before Logan Square were Berwyn.
Yeah, I've worked 5, and that was I started in 15. Right? No, whatever. No, 14. It would have been end of 14. Would have been 10.
15. You started.
I started in 15, but I worked Windy City Classic 10. I remember that because that T-shirt. We gave away that really ugly T-shirt.
That was so wait. 14 was 2008. 13, 2000 or not 2008. 2018. 17 was 13. Yeah, I don't know.
Shit, Nate, we're coming to you for this math.
Go to Wiki.
For math, no.
Wait, no. Well, 5 back. Yeah, 4. I guess I started in 15, but I remember being I was working in. No, I take it, guys. I take it back. I was working 14 because, or 2014 because I was working with my ex. Started helping with tickets around that time. So that was like our first one. We were like invited to on-site help. So, and that was at Logan, I believe.
Mm.
No, I don't know, man. I can't remember. Here, let's just look this shit up. What the hell am I doing?
But have you been to every one, I assume?
Not every one. I missed a few in the middle. I know I went to the first one because that was a big deal just in the indie scene here. Hearing that name was like a big deal, and I was going to everything at the time. I probably, out of the first 10 or first 9, I should say, I want to say easily half of them, and half I probably missed. So as a fan. And then I've been to the last 5. So, yeah, I mean, if not more, but I definitely was at the first one for sure. So that's one thing I totally remember, because it was just such the name. I remember hearing about it at the time, and just it was like resonating with everybody. That name was such an interesting name to get thrown around. The Windy City Classic was so specific to the town, and it was like, oh, we gotta go see what this is. And we were going to everything anyway at the time, so it was really neat. It was really neat to go. To have that really be like a city branded show, and I thought that was really cool. So yeah,
this was my third one.
Third one?
Yeah, I worked last year, and then I did not go to the one in 2017 that had X-Pac on it.
Oh, you did not go to that one? Were you out of town?
I don't remember, honestly.
That was X-Pac and Braxton was
no X-Pac and Paco versus
Braxton. X-Paco.
X-Paco. No, we were trying to push for that name so bad.
Would have been awesome.
But I was in the crowd at Windy City. Windy City Classic in 2016.
16, that would have been 12.
No, actually, wait a minute. I wasn't in the crowd for that. I was grabbing gear at that point, I think.
Gotcha.
But that was the Zack Sabre Jr. versus Trent. Sammy defending the title against Hero.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Mercedes Martinez defending the Shimmer title.
Which I liked when we did that. That was cool.
Too. Wow. I think we should do that again.
We should. Me looking at the Windy City 10.
Well, we only did that because we didn't have a women's title.
True. It'd be cool to do a match with the AAW Women's Champion versus the Shimmer Champion, dog.
It would have to be non-title, though.
Yeah, it would be.
It would be cool.
It would be cool, though, right? I'm looking at the Windy City 10 results, and I didn't work this one. This was in Berwyn. I was in the crowd on this one, and I just remember that horrible T-shirt, which took us 3 years to finally get rid of everything that was in stock. I had to grab bag that T-shirt to get rid of whatever was left. So 15 was my first year. I've worked 4, and I've attended probably like another 5 after that, at least, if not more. But yeah, God, have you guys seen that shirt? It's terrible. One? The Windy City Classic 10 shirt. I think it's on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh, that's on PWTs, I think.
It's so bad. I don't know.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
We're all gonna pull this up. I think it's still on there because it was on there for a while.
We should all buy.
We should. And I get to see Danny going, print some more of those. I'm trying to pull it up right now, but
yeah,
is that still there?
That's not awful.
I mean, would you wear it like in everyday life? I don't know. I wouldn't.
No, but honestly, there's only.
That's not a. Oh wait, the 10-year anniversary or the Windy City Classic 10?
No, the 10-year anniversary one. I'm sorry, I'm thinking the anniversary one.
No, because Windy City Classic 10 looks dope.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The
10-year anniversary looks like shit.
Yes, because it was on a white shirt, and that's what.
There's honestly only 2 shirts on here that I would wear.
That you would wear?
Yeah.
Which one?
You could probably guess.
Okay, wait. Let me guess. You would wear the logo and the flag shirt. That's it.
You don't want to wear the one with all the typos?
Oh God. I mean, like the circle, the old circle, redefined one. It's about the skull. That one's pretty cool.
No, it's not. This is not 2003.
There was a shirt that AAW used to have, and it said, it used to say, I don't know, I forgot what was on the front. I think it said bleed out on the front, and on the back it said MMA is for people who can't spell wrestling. I remember Danny used to wear it all the time.
Oh my God.
Because it was a play on the tap out shirt, because it said bleed out.
Yeah.
MMA is for people who can't spell wrestling.
I like how he came out with like a Sami Callihan belt shirt like a month before he lost the title.
Oh,
like he had the title for like almost like forever.
It's a cool shirt though.
I love the shirt. Like I really do like it. I mean, you can still call it the mother effing big belt.
Yeah, we can.
No, it's actually now it's the WCW Big Gold Belt.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
It's the
got that big goal, baby.
Manser got that big goal.
And dude, Manser is like he's living the dream. He's got the big gold belt.
I really hope Manser just starts calling it the WCW title.
Manser coming over here with the WCW heavyweight title. Manser AAW WCW. I love it.
You think Danny will get mad?
Yes, he would. Actually, I don't know. Danny loves WCW, so yeah, he might be like, "God, go with it."
It's on brand.
Let's talk about the show, boys.
We had one of those, right?
Yeah, we did have one of those.
Guys, a good show.
FITE TV debut. It was interesting. It was a very, as we all talk about, we love Bourbon Street, right? Can we all agree on this? Nate, I don't think I've ever talked to you about this. What are your thoughts on Bourbon Street?
We have talked about this. That Square is my favorite, but I also absolutely love Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street's so much cooler than Logan.
I love what is it? Do you guys think that? I mean, is it about bourbon that really appeals to us? Basil, you tell me, because I know from a visual standpoint, I know you and I have talked about the visual part of it, but like, what are some of the more of the appeal? Like, what is the appeal of bourbon that you think
there's more room?
Yeah, for sure.
There's more room. It's just it's less of a hassle to get to bourbon for most people.
Parking's easier.
It's easier parking. If fans get there a little early, they can get some food. The bar is it's like a legit bar.
Cheaper too.
It's cheaper. There's more options. And they don't have to leave right away. Like they can go to other parts of the bar after the show is done.
Which is cool, right? I mean, that's kind of cool. A lot of people do end up hanging out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I like. But I mean, Nate, what do you think? What's some of your favorite things about bourbon?
I like how it's next to a grocery store.
Yeah. Location. Very nice.
Great.
That's about it then, I
guess. That's it. It's just next to a Jewel.
It's there's definitely a lot of space. There's a lot more space. For us, for the fans, it's just, and it feels bigger. And the energy is still really, really good. I like the energy of Logan a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, see, so Danny always says, he goes, bourbon, during the show, a lot of people there's distractions, right? There's people, they're all by the bar, they're huddled up by the bar, you hear them talking, you hear people just BSing because there's so much room to just lounge at Bourbon. And whereas at Logan, you have it's so tight that you have no choice but to watch the ring and react to the ring. So I see Danny's point in that, but I say from a aesthetic point of view, like Bourbon looks like a big deal. Like it has a big fight feel to me. Even though Logan has this energy, like Bourbon has just the visual, like the photos, the video, like it just looks like a big show to me.
And then also the problem with Logan, there's only one spot to do at Logan. Let's jump into the crowd. That's the only spot to do at Logan, and it's so overdone by every company that runs there. I'm just sick of people jumping into the crowd. Like it's not a cool thing anymore.
Yeah,
I think it's annoying for the fans.
You do it so much, it just loses its appeal. It's not special to jump in the crowd anymore.
Fans are so annoyed when they jump into the crowd now.
Like some people are getting their shit damaged, things like that. Like people have stuff and it gets smushed and kicked, and
I just feel like it should not be done anymore. I don't know what it means anymore. Like at least when it's done at Logan.
Mm-hmm.
We can push the barricade a little bit further back.
Yeah.
And it's not in the crowd as much. Like, I don't know, like the spot, like what Mance and Josh Alexander did.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a dive over, but they just went over the barricade and then they started fighting in the seats.
Yeah. So it has a little...
Yeah, like it's easier for brawls to happen in the crowd, but fans don't have to be dived on.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like the outside area of Bourbon, even if you do like a false count anywhere, there's so much more room that it looks cooler. It just has a better feel to it, a better vibe in terms of an overall aesthetic, I think. But like I said, everybody's very split on it though. There's a big split on what people like better. My thing is with Logan, it's so overexposed. It's so overused. No matter how differently you set it up than other companies, it's just so overused. So that stage looks the same. It's kind of like I was talking to somebody about, and you guys can tell me because you probably see more of this than I do, but apparently like when WWE goes to a arena, it almost doesn't matter what arena they're in because they set up everything to look exactly the same. So it's like the same set and the building might be different, but it looks the same everywhere they go. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, I mean, now it depends on the show that's running, but if Raw is going to be somewhere, Raw is going to look the same week to week, and same with SmackDown.
Right. So there's nothing to differentiate it. And I'm feeling like Logan, no matter how differently we set it up or whatever, it's like there's only so much you can do with that room. And it's starting to look the same. So I don't know. I mean, lighting's one thing, but it's just that the look of that room is being so overused by everybody that it's losing anything that makes it special. So
at least they repainted it.
Yeah, but going to, Bourbon keeps it different, which is nice. So
I just like Bourbon because there's way more lighting that can be
options.
Played with. Yeah. I like the look of it. I like that you can see the banners all the time. Like you can see the Hall of Fame banners that we have.
Yeah.
They're not Hall of Fame, but you know what I mean. Like
basically.
I know before anybody says anything, but go fuck yourself. They're basically our Hall of Famers. We even know we don't have an official Hall of Fame class, so there you go.
Who should be the next two on there? We should decide that right now.
We don't need anybody on there. We got the 8 right now.
We need 10.
No, we don't. We don't have any room for 10. We start doing levels of that shit.
Merrick Brave's like, when am I gonna get a banner? I test Mike. He's like, fuck Merrick. He's not getting shit. And I'm like, unless he pays for it. He's like, because he asked. He's like, if you ask for a banner, you don't get one. I was like, dude, you should just torture him, make him think he's gonna get one.
I do like that we switched Jimmy off when Jimmy came back active.
Yes.
Because I like that everybody that's on those banners are not active with the company.
Yes, for sure. For sure. All right, cool. Let's get into some review, boys. What do we say? Let's start it off. Well, there was a dark match, which is not listed on the results here, but it was Elena Black versus was it Blair Onyx?
Mm-hmm.
Two rookies. I think they're only like 19, correct?
Yeah, dude. Elena has she just completed her first year of wrestling.
They both showed up early to the venue and said, "Look, if we, can we help set up?" And they set up, and they're like, "Hey, can we have a dark match?" And Danny's like, if you got your gear, let's do it. So he gave him. It was literally like spur of the moment. We just they just agreed to it at that moment.
Good. They're both hard workers, and they tore down.
And they tear down. That's awesome.
Yeah, they didn't pull the bullshit of just setting up, because setting up is easy.
Yes, for sure. And that's
tear down is the hard one, because you have to stay the whole show.
It's a big no when people just come for setup and they're like, all right, we're done. They don't even help tear down.
Yeah, they were help carrying out pieces of the ring. Nate,
did you ref that one, or I don't think you did?
I did not.
Yeah, who had that? Who was the other ref? Who was the new guy?
His name is Joshua Gatton. He's from Indianapolis.
Okay, reviews. Be honest. You can shit on him, right? You can bury him right now if you want to.
No, I thought he did a good job.
Have you worked with him before?
I had not. No.
I'm not gonna lie. The show felt weird without Stifler and Sam.
I would definitely agree.
I'm glad Nate was there to anchor, but Perch was there. Perch was the other referee.
I like Perch. I think we should bring it. I feel like Perch should be a regular ref for us.
Nate, he's located in Milwaukee, correct?
Yes.
He's a nice guy, man. Perch he's a sweetheart of a guy. He's always really nice to everybody.
Perch is great. I love Perch.
I found out his real last name is Perch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Perch is his name. I was like, I thought that was just like a nickname because you maybe sit like a bird or something. Perch.
Or like a fish.
Huh? No, he's perched.
Do you know who has a good shoot name?
Nate Speckman?
that completely could be a wrestling name.
What?
Effie's shoot name is one of the best wrestling names ever.
What is it?
Taylor Gibson.
Taylor Gibson?
Gibson, yeah.
It's such like hey, what was your first girlfriend's and first street you lived on? Like combination, create a name.
Yeah.
Taylor Gibson.
He came out with a legit contract and it was hilarious.
Coming down the aisle, Taylor Gibson. Yeah, it does have that like setup name.
It's a solid name.
I
like names.
Cool. All right, so that was a dark match, which did not get even listed on Cage Match, guys. Why? Poor rookies can't get a break.
Because it wasn't on because this is all off the Fight stream.
Yes, it's true. All right, so Fight was cool, man. Fight was the stream apparently was really nice and crisp, I was told. People were really liking it. A lot of new people tuned in to this one. From what I heard, as of to this recording, it is still racking up buys. People watching it on replay after hearing how good it was. So that's a really cool thing.
Good.
Hell yeah.
No, what I heard was we exceeded the estimate on the buy. So that was pretty cool too. What Fight told us they estimated us to get, we actually exceeded that. So I think that was really cool. So that's a good sign. Definitely want to keep working with Fight. We're looking to bring in some new cameramen. You do some more stuff in-house for more production. So anybody listening who's a cameraman or editor, get in touch with AAW. But let's kick it off. Opening match. Nate, did you have this opener or what?
I did not. I did not work a match until the dog collar match.
Okay, then that's good to know because I'm gonna come to you for the in-ring perspective on that. But open up with a 5-way: Myron, Ace Austin, Airwolf, Clayton Gaines, Colt Cabana, Josh Briggs. I thought this was, I don't want to say this kind of screamed like we didn't really know what to do with these 5, and so let's just put them in a match. But nevertheless, it's the perfect opener. That's the thing. It's like
there's 6 people in this match.
Sorry, 6. 6. Sorry, the 6. We toyed around with two ideas on this. Either do a six way, even though it's listed as a 5-way on the thing here, but we either said we can make it a couple. We can make a tag or make it like a 3-on-3, or make it a like two different tag matches. But that would have been too many matches. We had all these ideas like what to do with this, but like nothing made sense as far as tags went, other than Clayton and Ace. So like it wouldn't have made sense to team anybody here really. Then it would have looked like just hodgepodge team. So this was the most logical way to get all these guys on. But I thought it was a good opener though.
I don't mind scrambles opening up shows.
I don't either.
I really don't. I like it. I like it. I hate random tag team matches. Scrambles just are better, and then there was a good dynamic of Gaines and Ace kind of working together in the match.
Right.
So,
Nate, do you in a match, like, what do you think about scrambles to open? Are you a big fan? I know like a lot of people are doing it now. I'm not like, oh, everybody's doing it, we should do it too. But it really made sense here, right? Like it kind of was fun to kick off a pay-per-view with a big 6-man, kind of explosive match.
Yeah. I can't think of any other way to use those guys and any better way to start off the show.
That's the thing. We're stuck with how else would we have used them, right? Like that's like nobody else really made sense other than Clayton and Ace for a tag. It's kind of a logical way to go.
Right, and who do you put with them? Briggs, and then team up Colt, Airwolf, and Myron? Like,
right. It's wouldn't have gone any other way. But it had its comedy spots. It had its high spots. This was cool. This was a good way to. How long did this one go? There's no time on this one. Do you guys recall roughly how long this one went?
No.
Maybe like 10.
10. Perfect, right?
Yeah. This was. I'm trying to remember. I think this one was 11. I do remember how long the next one went.
So the next one, let's jump to that. So Myron won that opener. And Myron's a big factor, player. Now, did he get signed somewhere? I kept hearing
MLW. He got re-upped on his contract.
Okay, because I was like, I already thought he was signed, but everybody's like, congrats on the contract. I'm like,
it's a bigger. It's past the initial one.
Okay.
I mean, right now he's their middleweight champion at MLW.
Okay.
Yeah, and his storyline with Injustice with Cotto Brazil and
Jordan Oliver.
They're in a group called Injustice, and it's been featured more and more prominently.
Mm-hmm.
Like MLW is very stable heavy, but like in a good way. It reminds me of how New Japan does it in a sense, but with trios. Everybody's in a trio. In MLW, you had like Dynasty, you had Heart Foundation. Now you have Injustice. You have Selena De Laurentiis, like kind of mix of people who she manages, like all the the luchadors and stuff like that. So,
gotcha. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's like I said, I was trying to figure out what the whole deal with Myron was. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Kimberly defeated High-End. So High-End just moved to Chicago, I believe, right? Like
from
she
Texas.
Is from Texas, and we worked with her in Texas. She, from what I understand, she is set to be on everything. She's gonna be a regular going forward. So I did not get a chance to see this one, so I'm gonna look towards you guys. How was this one? How did High-End do? I know in Texas she took on God, what was that girl's name who was late to the show? I can't remember her name.
Roxy,
right? Who's making some waves lately, but
I know I keep seeing her pop up everywhere.
And I don't think that match is anything spectacular in Texas, but I understand that both of them have come a bit of a way since. But Nate, did you catch this match at all?
Not all of it, bits and pieces of it, and I did like what I saw.
Cool. Basil, you were right there. So any thoughts? Like, what do you see? Like, High-End's young, right? Like,
High-End's young.
Super young.
Yeah. Match started off kind of slow. Wasn't a big fan of that, but then High-End got to play the heel really well in this match. and that's when I started enjoying that. And then Kimber's always like a solid player, and I thought the match ended perfectly fine.
Kimber winning
Like,
on this
yeah,
one.
Kimber won. I mean, it was a good match. Like, I don't have any like real complaints about it at all. I just thought
Kimber,
it was a solid match.
yeah, Kimber looked great, man. I think Kimber, she definitely lost. She lost some weight. She looked really like she looked toned. She was faster. I don't know whatever she's been doing. Like since we last saw her, she looked really good. And
Yeah,
especially, I thought she was faster in the ring than she's ever. And she was never like a speed based wrestler. But I thought she tried really kicking up things a notch and like making high end work for it, which
Yeah,
I thought was pretty
definitely.
cool.
I
Right? Like
like I said,
I would.
yeah. After that initial start, I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I was
So
like, I was wondering if I was the only one who caught that, but I'm like, man, Kimber just like her speed was way, way better than I'd seen it in a while. So I'm excited about it. I'm wondering like, you know, she had a renewed energy to her, which I thought was pretty cool. So maybe she's going through like just this new wave of kind of getting a new refreshed view on things. So I hope so, man. I think Kimber is a good talent when utilized properly. When she's in the right storyline, she can do good because she can cut a decent promo too. But she just
Absolutely.
needs right, yeah. But like Nate, where do you think like what was the one thing you feel like we couldn't like she had a title run and everything, but I don't think it translated too well. What were we always missing with Kimberly? I can never put my finger on was it her opponents? Or did we not give her a proper storyline? Because she can cut a promo, right? Like she's a good
Yeah,
promo.
I think so.
Where do you think we fell short on it? I mean, I'd like to correct it now. I'd like to make sure we keep her momentum going now.
Uh,
It's a tough one, right? Like it's tough to kind of pinpoint this.
I don't know, because I'm trying to like, what do you mean? Like, what do you think was
I,
missed? Like, I don't know how to.
yeah, I'm not wording it totally perfect, but I'm trying to like figure out where were we like where because we never got a big impact out of her title run. I felt her title run
I mean, I
wasn't like
think
it was
I think
cool.
one problem is I don't think she's ever been consistent month to month.
Right. And I was just thinking the same thing. You're right. I think that's a big part of it. I think she needs consistency in order to like stay over, essentially.
I think anybody does.
True. Sure. And she's been a lot of start stop with us. Like I think we really need and I gotta find out, like, is she in for everything? And can we really start building stories around her if that's the case? And if so, let's start using some of these young girls like a High-End or Elena Black if they're coming. Let's really start building this women's division because I feel like we need a lot of work there too.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, next one. This was a featured match. Killer Cross and Matthew Justice.
I love this match.
All right, I'll let you talk about it. Give me your
Yeah,
thoughts on this one.
I mean, Matthew Justice is growing more and more on me too. So this was just two psychos being psychotic towards one another. Um,
Two
because they
psychos
would
being
like,
psychos.
huh?
Two psychos being psychos.
Yeah, dude, seriously, like there was like big moves they each hit on one another, and they
Mhm.
would kick out at one, and then like there was like one part, like I actually even got it in picture, and Matt Justice just gets up right away and he's like laughing and Cross is like, what the fuck? And then he turns around, he starts laughing, he hits a move on Matt Justice um and then or Matt gets back on him and then Cross kicks out at one on him too. So that was fun. And then Matt Justice jumped off the balcony into the
Jesus.
crowd.
Yes, he did. Another balcony spot. Infamous. I feel like we should make a compilation of all the balcony spots at
We
We
Bourbon
should.
Street.
have three.
No,
Oh,
dude. There were way more over the years at Bourbon
over the
Street.
years. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I'm
remember
talking.
Tony fucking Rican jumped off that balcony one time.
Uh,
I was in the
Good old
crowd on that.
Tony.
It's funny because after Justice did it, I was backstage and Jake Chris comes up to me and he just like walks up to my ear and he just goes, "I did that. I did a flip off that
Did.
twice."
It's like a sense of pride, like a badge of honor.
I
Yeah.
Flipped off
wanna
that shit.
want Tony to jump off again, but I want him to have a mic and be like, "Hey guys, Tony here," and then he just jumps off.
Hey guys, Tony Regan here, and I'm about to go splat on that floor. You know why?
Because this Tony is awesome. Regan here. Welcome to Jackass.
Jackass. Here's a side of aioli. Boom. Oh man, Tony freaking Regan, man. No, that's cool. Matt Justice, talk about an energy. That guy had a positive vibe all night. Like he was happy to be there, man. I dug that about him.
He's a really good dude. I like him a lot.
He grew on me a lot. I didn't know anything about him. I didn't really talk to him much the last time we had him, but that's a cool guy, man. That's a good dude who just like he's just there to have a good time, and he's
been blowing up on GCW scene too, which is good.
I'd like to use him. I think he could come in handy. He needs a good opponent, but he looks like the type who could work with anybody if given the right opponent. I think he has a good adaptable style.
He has to work with somebody strong though. I don't want to see. I don't want to see him up against like a smaller. Like I don't want to see him up against someone like Airwolf or Paco or something like that. I like to see him up against like the bigger dudes or somebody who can like. I want to see him in like brawls and stuff like that.
No, definitely. It's got to be something that makes sense. So Cross wins this one. It was kind of I don't want to say a flat finish, but I felt like it was a very. I didn't see that finish coming. I expected more of a dynamic finish, but I guess it was a very almost realistic finish because they just beat each other down so bad.
Yeah.
So it was one of those. I just I don't know if like the crowd, like what got me was the crowd didn't react to it, and that's what kind of bummed me out about it. The crowd didn't like think that was the finish, so they didn't really react.
I was even taken back by that was the finish.
Exactly right. Like, I thought I was going crazy. I'm like I don't think we expected that to be the finish after everything they did. It's like, oh shit, that's what ended it, you know. So, not to take away anything from anybody, it was just more so like I don't think the crowd was ready for it to end at that point. So, but I would love to see them do another one because I think now that they felt each other out, not that I don't think it'll happen with us just based on what we have to do and how much we're trying to diversify our cards, but I don't think we'll do another one with them. But it'd be cool to have these guys meet down the line somewhere because they I think now that they've gotten that one off their back. Now let's see what they can really pull together. So it'll be interesting to see. So Justice is primarily GCW?
Yeah, he's a GCW guy.
I think he trained at the AIW school and then disappeared for a while and then came back. So I think he's AIW champion right now.
Oh, is he really? Okay.
That does make sense because I saw his profile picture and he had like 2 AIW belts with him.
Yeah.
AIW. All right. Cool.
He's the only guy announced for AIW's Tampa show Mania weekend, and is managed by Bill Alfonso.
Are you serious?
That's random.
Well, he's a big ECW mark, right? Like you was saying, he's a huge he wears an ECW shirt to the ring.
He did to the show.
Yeah. So he's the old ECW with these hot neon F and W. So no, I was talking to him. Basil, he's a super huge ECW guy, so good for him. I'd like to see him again. I think, but yeah, we can't overdo it. It's got to be the right opponent. Wouldn't mind having him back. But let's go to the next one, Nate. This is this is the one you debuted for the night in. Good Brother number 3, Jimmy Jacobs dog collar match. I missed the entire match.
Did you really?
I missed the entire match. Dude,
I am so disappointed that you missed it because I think this was my favorite match of the night.
I'm so bummed because I wanted to see this feud. Like this was it. You know, this was what we built up to. All right, Nate, tell me about it. Did it get violent? I don't know anything. I don't know anything but who won about this one. So was it violent? Like refereeing a dog? Was it your first dog collar match or what?
It was, yeah.
What are your challenges in refereeing a dog collar match? Because now you have rules, right? Because in AAW no rule. Now you actually have some rules to follow in order to win this match.
No, it was pinfall.
It was pinfall? It wasn't the corner taps?
No, it wasn't touch turnbuckles or anything.
Turnbuckles is stupid.
I think it's stupid.
Not fans, really? How come?
Because it's stupid and it's like the touch turnbuckle thing is equivalent to when it's a ladder match and you magically can't walk up a ladder.
I always hated that about ladder matches. Like all of a sudden, this guy's like, "Oh my god, I cannot take the step." But when it's the finish, man, they're fucking flying up that ladder. Shit.
To me, it's so you get a pinfall, right? And then 1-2 big kick out, or 1-2 partner comes in and breaks it up.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get one and then the partner comes in too early and breaks it up, it sort of feels like a deflated balloon. And so in those touch turnbuckle type matches, it's always going to be 1, 2, 3, and then they can't do the fourth, because if you do it any other way, it loses its steam. But for some reason, you can do 1-2 big kick out all day in a match, and it doesn't necessarily get old. But if you did constant, in a 12-minute match or whatever, you did constant like 1, 2, 3. He can't get to the fourth one. If you do that even 2 times, it just gets a little weird.
Okay, very valid.
Because also with that, you usually have to like get your opponent down, and it's kind of like the same thing with the ladder idea. It's like, the opponent's dead for those first 3, and then he magically gets up and yanks the guy down. Like, and I felt like the kickouts were really strong in this match.
Well, like, how long did the match go, Nate? Do you recall?
This was probably all time. This was probably like 12.
Yeah, this was between 12 and 15.
This one had to have time. Like when we were going through and kind of mapping the show out, like we didn't have times written out for this one. At least I didn't. But I figured this one had to have time. Like you had to. This one was such a culmination that you had to make sure that this one had enough time to tell the story and make its way kind of to everybody's like desires of what they were looking for and how this thing would end. So, but Nate, any other challenges though refereeing a match like this? Like what, this was it was an important match too. I mean, this was months and months of build up. What, or how was it in general, just being up front for it? Did you enjoy it? Like from your point of view?
Yes and no, I guess. It's tough because one of the main things for me is making sure that everybody's safe. And then obviously in a match like this, the chance for injury and everything else, doubles, triples, whatever.
Yeah.
So but I also can't do anything to, I'm not going to admonish somebody for, I'm not going to admonish Jimmy for punching Good Brother with a fist wrapped in chain. So if people get hurt, they're going to get hurt. Like, and there's not a whole lot that I can do about it.
True. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the match, or are you not a big fan of these matches?
No, I enjoyed it. It's a lot more nerve-wracking than, say, a one-on-one singles match.
Is there ever a risk of you getting hurt, like in terms of like in the middle of a chain whip? Did any of that happen on this one where you're like, oh shit?
I did not feel like I was ever in danger, no.
All right, cool. Nice, man. Well, Good Brother number 3 wins, which reinstates Mance Warner. That was a stipulation on this one. I think Jimmy, I see Jimmy, I'm like, man, this guy puts himself through a lot of damn pain, and especially at how long he's been doing this. Like, I don't know. How much do you guys think Jimmy, like, I think Jimmy is best used for long-term stories like this because he can he sinks his teeth into this stuff so much, and he's like very particular about his promos, and like he wants direction. He's like, where am I going with this? I need to know what the future plan is. Like he's very, very particular about how it goes, which I think is great. But I think like the way to use Jimmy is stuff like this. Like But it's gotta be. We gotta play it so carefully because you can't just throw Jimmy with anybody. He's almost like an elder statesman of the company at this point, where you have to be very careful on who you put him in a long-term story with because they got to be able to bring it out in him too. Who could Jimmy work with next is my question, because the whole thing with Briggs didn't work out. Obviously.
Well, that's I think
he died. No, didn't you see the end of the match?
Well, no, I didn't.
Oh my God. You can go into a program with Briggs now because Briggs tried to come out and help him, but it got fucked up. And then after the match, Jimmy smacks Briggs, and then Briggs gives him not one but two choke slams.
Oh, so he killed Jimmy. Shit, I didn't even know this, man. It's terrible. I didn't know that.
What a good producer.
I know. Great. I was busy producing shit, but
he can go into a program with Briggs for a few months.
I hope it works out because the whole thing with him managing Briggs, I felt like their chemistry just wasn't there. I hope maybe as opponents it can work. Let's see. I'd be curious to see how it goes. Not opposed to. I just feel like when he was managing him, it didn't have any chemistry. And but maybe as opponents they who knows, that one, it could be one of those things where like as opponents they have chemistry rather than as teammates. So okay, I'm open to it. But I had no idea that happened, man. I guess I missed this entire segment altogether.
It makes me so sad that you missed it.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. I'll have to review it, at some point. But it's a bummer. It's a bummer I missed it. But all right, cool. Next one, we had the women's the first of 3 title matches or 4 title matches on this one. The women's title, Statlander taking on Havoc. Statlander is like on fire right now, right? Like she is literally on top of the women's wrestling world at this point with her TV appearances.
I love Statlander.
She's fantastic.
She's the new AAW Women's Champion on top of that. So that
Spoiler
one over
alert.
extremely well. Yeah, well, it's no spoiler. This whole episode, spoiler alert. But she won. She's a new champion. But man, she's making some waves, huh, Basil? She's for your buddies at AEW. She's part of that crew now too, right?
Yeah, she just recently signed to AEW. Very happy for her because she was supposed to go to New York and or Florida, I guess that's what you call it now.
I guess you call it Florida now.
But I'm very happy where she's at, and so she's very happy with where she's at too now. So,
well, she's got a contract where she is able to continue to work for us and AEW. So, like you were telling me, Basil, there's different kind of contracts that they work with, right? They're doing some open-ended stuff or what?
Yeah, there's different levels to it where if you're signed, and this is what Cody was. This is from Cody, so this isn't like me giving away personal shit.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, there's people like Young Bucks, Cody, Dustin Rhodes. Those people don't need to be wrestling on the weekends. Like at this point, like they have enough bumps on their body. But you have someone like Chris Statlander who's been in the business for what, 2-3 years, not even.
Mm-hmm.
She still needs to get her reps in, and wrestling once a week isn't going to do that. And so she can still wrestle indie shows, which I like. So she doesn't have to, but she can if she wants to.
And she's committed to us for the rest of the year too. Which is good.
Like I was talking with Big Swole, she's like, "Yeah, I'm toning down where I'm wrestling now. Like she's still gonna do Rise, but Rise only runs once a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I'm definitely calming down because like my body needs it, and it's great that there's the option there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not super restricted where you can't work any shows.
Okay.
Like whatchamacallit, Butcher and the Blade were wrestling on a show today against Best Friends on an indie show.
Okay.
So,
do you think that kind of cheapens the appeal though? And you can see them on indies, and it's like they're TV guys. Not, I mean, it benefits us from like a Statlander point of view.
I don't think so because, like I said, a lot of these guys are younger. They if you're not on the show that week, you're not wrestling that week.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
But
they want to wrestle, but they don't want to be completely inactive.
okay, all right, cool.
There's only one
So
show a week, so I
that's
mean,
true.
there's only one show a week.
Nate, are you a Statlander fan?
I am a gigantic Statlander fan. She's the
Really?
nicest.
I don't think I've ever had a chance to really talk to her. I have had very quick interactions with her, but I haven't done any of her promos. I'm too busy. Usually that's Keith doing her promos, but she's like I said, she's got a really awesome following. I love that match she had with Sammy for us a couple months ago, and like to me that opened my eyes to her. I think she's an extremely talented performer, man, and I think if we can to set ourselves apart a little bit from what other people are doing, I would like to showcase her character a little more at AAW. I mean, I know she's got a character down, what she likes to do, but I want to like feature it a lot more. Give it a lot more depth with more promos. I think we put some cool like appealing promos. Give her more time. Give her more stuff to just develop her because I feel like there's a lot she can offer. She knows her character really well, and I'm like, let's showcase that because now that she's our champion, we want to really show it off. So
What I also like is that people like obviously wait, no. She is a real alien.
she's
That's what I mean. You know what I mean like that? Like
Yeah.
people aren't people aren't like, "Oh man, I need to be so like people are accepting that this of this alien thing." You know what I mean? They're having fun with it.
yeah. So
And
let's show it off more.
it's not being shoved down people's throats, and people are just having fun with it, which I want more people to do that with other gimmicks.
Yeah, like let your guard down a little bit, right? Like enjoy the character. Like yeah, she's the alien. It's a goofy thing. Like she's an alien, but like let's have fun with that. Enjoy it. She's an alien. Let's go with it.
She
But I want
drank a, she drank a whole bowl of coffee creamers on BTE the other
it. Wait, like those little like coffee mate ones with the
day.
flavored ones.
Yeah, like she was at it was at AEW, and she's opening up coffee creamers, and she just pouring it into a bowl, and then she just drinks out of the bowl.
She's a
used to go-
delightful weirdo.
I used to go to 7-Elevens and just like take shots of those, like all the different flavors when I was a kid.
Sense.
That's
Just
gross.
take little. Oh, that's gross. Okay, she takes a bowl of it, so she's delightful. I'm gross.
I just said that makes sense of you.
Yeah. That's great though. I'm excited. She's committed to us for I don't want to put too much out there, but she's given us dates. We got her. She wants to work with us, and we said, okay, cool. So you're gonna see some Statlander with us. I'm excited
Good.
to build her. I think she's happy to be working with AAW. So definitely looking forward to it. I'm glad that she has a deal where she can do it. That's kind of cool. So the more we can work with her, the better. Now, the key is developing a challenger for her, right? I mean, do we put Kimberly back in there? We got Hyan in the mix, some other rookies coming up. We need more though. We need to really diversify the women's division because I want to give Stat like a real banger of a match because she pulled it out against Sammy, man. Like she can go.
I'm impressed that Nate is tweeting while he's on this podcast right now.
Nate, who prides himself on the fact that he's not a big social media guy, is tweeting while he's on the podcast right now. What's he saying, Baz? Why don't you read Nate's tweet out for the group?
Always, bet on yourself, period.
Nate, okay.
Enter,
reference.
Work hard, period. Grind, period. Do, period. Hashtag rough life, hashtag zebra talk, hashtag wrestling, hashtag referee.
What
with
brought
the
this
picture.
up? Oh, it was a picture of you, Nate?
Yeah, he's actually hosting a seminar.
Wait, you're hosting a seminar? Hey guys, I'm Nate, and here to host a seminar. How's it going? First of all, tea is your friend. It helps with recovery and digestion. So, lousy wrestler road diets, say goodbye. Have a nice glass of chamomile before bed. I'm Nate. This has been Referee Seminar. See you later. That'll be $300. Nate,
that's what I do.
Nate, if you held a seminar, how much would you charge for the seminar?
I would pay people to have me hold a seminar.
I feel like Nate, you're so nice that you'd be like, guys, no charge. I just want to like share my knowledge and just be friends.
I just want to hang out with people.
I'll just tell you guys what to do. Like, no charge, just having a good time. Hey guys, Nate. You're a nice guy, Nate. You really are. But Perch is gunning for the title of nice guy in AAW locker room. So you better really either you take Perch out or you tell him whose house that really is, and to like
I can't do that. I love Perch.
I know someone's got to tell Perch that there's already a nice guy in this locker room, and there's not enough room for two.
So he needs to be an asshole.
He has got to at least throw one asshole thing in per show to like lessen his nice guy level, so the title stays with you. Are you following?
No.
Work with me here, Nathan. Okay, moving on.
I was looking at a picture.
He's too busy tweeting, Basil. Let's go ahead and finish this review. Nate's all of a sudden become a social media guru and tweeting during podcasting. Okay, Nate, I get it. There's a show you've already worked. You've seen it. It's not as interesting going over it again.
Jesus.
But for the sake of Basil.
That's mean.
For the sake of Basil.
What do you mean for the sake of me?
I know you're taking this. You're offended, Basil. Apparently it's racist in some way.
Is it because Nate's white? Is that what you're trying to go about here?
I didn't go there, but if you're
you
going
went there. You opened.
If you're going there right now, we're in for we're opening a whole can of worms that we cannot put back.
Oh boy!
You can't put the worms back in the can. All right, next match, Bourbon Street Fight, Kurt Stallion, Jake Something against David Starr and Eddie Kingston. Guys, this was it. This was the death of wrestling without the E. Basil, you were a big fan of wrestling without the E. You owned all the merch. You took the photos. You talked to David Starr. Many late night phone conversations about life, about politics, about wrestling without the E. How was this match to you? Were you able to follow these guys on the floor? Because they were fucking all over the place.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was running everywhere.
There was a group of kids who I think they walked in because they were like little kids, and they walked in. I don't think they were supposed to be there, and they were so scared of this match because they thought they were going to get killed.
Good.
They're like,
that's how they should feel.
So I was like, they're like really scared, and they were like young kids, like under 12. I'm like, where are your parents, guys? And they're like, they're out in the bar. I'm like, oh, you have tickets to this? Like, oh, we just walked in. I'm like, all right, well, welcome to wrestling.
Welcome to wrestling. This is some scary shit. Be prepared.
Are they gonna come over here? I'm like, yeah, maybe. I'm like, you guys should maybe run. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, be careful.
I love how personal this match got. I mean, this was fantastic storytelling.
Stiff shots in this one, man. They were out to hurt each other. Nate, did you ref this one?
I did.
How did you keep any order on this one whatsoever?
Well,
this was nuts.
Luckily, it was a Bourbon Street Fight, so I didn't really have to. But my thing was, I was just trying to figure out, like, where to go and who to be with, because, it had to finish in the ring. And when they were all out on the floor, I was like, as soon as somebody goes into the ring, I've got to go in there. But nobody looked to be heading in there. So I was like, do I stay with, Kingston and Stallion, or do I go over with Starr and Something? And I was like, I have no idea where to go.
Was there any other refs out there to help you control it all, or crowd control, or was anybody out there to crowd control, or no?
They came out later. Boz came out. There were a couple security guys. Perch came out. Okay. But for a while, I was out there by myself.
Who was working security? Was there like some rookies working security? I didn't even see anybody.
There was a couple of big dudes. Yeah. Jay Harris. Jay Harris is one of them. I didn't know the other guy.
Okay. I did not know if anyone was working security, so must have missed it. But yeah, I feel like street fights are the hardest ones to ref. Is that, I mean, just for the sake of keeping order and then making sure you're back in the ring to make the counts, right? Like as needed. Are they a challenge to you as a referee?
There's just a bit more going on, yeah.
Did you like it though? Do you enjoy it?
I thought it was a great match.
Yeah, like Basil, like you were saying, this was super personal, right? Like this one definitely was the best way to end such a long feud. Yeah.
My favorite was Eddie versus the trash can.
Yeah, you got a nice photo of that one,
dude. Like, I try to be well prepared for stuff, but I just see Eddie grabbing a trash can. I'm like, okay, but nobody's in the ring, and then he just starts bashing his head in with the trash can, and all of us are shocked, and then Rob is over by the entrance just fucking laughing. And I've been really trying hard not to react to like wrestling in the ring.
Yeah.
And I just lost it. Like I just couldn't not laugh.
I saw Rob crouch like filming, but then he just starts. I just see him like laughing
because like you see David's face. Like I had a good view of David, and David's like, "What are you doing?" And then Eddie's just rolling around on the floor, just like, "Oh man, I regret this."
That was, I just heard the whole. I was looking at something else. And I heard the whole crowd like just breaking out, and first shot I got was Rob. I just see Rob like cry. And you got a picture of this, I think, right? Did you snap a photo of this? Like somebody had Rob in the background.
So I just cropped in one of the photos.
And Rob's just laughing.
Rob was just laughing his ass off.
I like when they can pop Rob because Rob's a tough sell. He's a tough sell. So if you can pop Rob, I think you did a good job. Poor Rob was very tired of the show. And towards the end of the show, he was ready to call it. Man, he was done. That guy's been working like crazy. Busted his ass at this one too. What's that, Nate?
He needed to go home and go to bed.
He got a little crabby at the end. He wasn't happy about having to wait for some promos. He was like, Rob, like, well, we were waiting on the besties to come, and we needed one more promo. Nate, you were there, right? Like in the back in the promo room.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Yo, man, they fucking coming. Like, what's going? I gotta start wrapping up. Like, yeah, a few more minutes, Rob." And then like Cross wanted to get going because like the besties were taking forever. And I was like, "Yeah, we just do it next time, man." He was just ready to get the fuck out of there. He was so cashed out. He's like, "Yeah." Cross like, "Yeah, if you guys want to do it before the next show, we can do that." And Keith's like, "No, we need to get it for the next show." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I can." We can like film it and just get it out right away, like the morning of the next show. And like, no, man, relax. He was poor guy was exhausted though, man. I gotta give it to him. He running around after working all day, like carrying that big ass camera and shit. Not easy. Not easy. Poor Rob's got a tough job. But that was a fun match. Kurt and Jake win it. They beat Star and Kings, and that's the end of it. That's the end of the saga that had so much going over, was it last year we had added Kurt and Jake, right? That was last Windy City Classic. It was a year to the year making. Am I right, gentlemen?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The bummer is I feel like we never got to get the full mileage out of the wrestling storyline. We got some, but man, I feel like there was so much more we could have gotten out of this one, out of wrestling. I just feel like, Cobb getting signed, some of the start-stop, some of the availability, a few guys. It's like we did not get to really sink our teeth into wrestling.
2.0, Wrestling 2.0 very much felt like Nexus 2.0.
Yeah, it had a lot. It had so much potential, and I think whatever we did was great. But I'm like, man, there was so much more we could have done. If we had a solid schedule to work with and availability. I mean, David Starr lives in the UK. His availability is tough. It's hard to get.
Speaking of David Starr, the man wrestled in the UK, flew to Chicago, wrestled the one match in Chicago, and flew back to wrestle for Progress the next day.
And then he was coming back like this week.
Yeah, but I'm saying he did UK, Chicago, UK within 3 days.
That's insane. It's a lot of frequent flyer miles there. His miles are great, but he has a match here like this weekend in the U.S. again, and Danny was like, "Why don't you just stay with your family or in Philly?" And he's like, "No, I got to go back."
It was Progress's 100th show. It was a big event.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it was a huge, everybody came back for this Progress show.
Well, is Progress done? Like, I know that Jim Smallman's working for WWE now.
Yeah, no, he works for WWE, but no, I mean they announced 101.
So WWE's killing Progress slowly. That's nice. They took Smallman away from his own company.
I don't think they're killing them. I think it's just a progression up. I mean, you got to remember indie wrestling is a step towards for everybody, not just for the wrestlers.
True. But so that's surprised 100 show, huh? How long have they been around? I thought they were around a lot longer. Nate, statistics, please.
Oh, I'd have to look.
Now I know you're a big Japanese wrestling fan. You're not into the British scene that much, Nate?
It's just harder for me to get a hold of.
I see. That sounds like a excuse that I don't want to hear.
I'm more, yeah. I mean, when I search out more Japanese wrestling than UK wrestling.
The UK scene, I heard, is getting. They've lost a lot of momentum over the last year, unfortunately. Yeah.
I will say though, Riptide is fucking fantastic. I've been getting into that. And
that's one with all the cool videos, right?
My god, I love Riptide. And,
I didn't know they're British. Okay.
Yeah, and the best part is there's no commentary.
No commentary?
Yes.
Why is that a good thing though?
Because you got to remember that's how I watch wrestling now. Majority of wrestling of how I watch, I don't watch a lot of TV wrestling anymore because I just consume so much wrestling live that it's I mean, I worked over 75 shows last year, so that's a lot of wrestling I consumed without any commentary.
What about you, Nate? You like wrestling with or without commentary? I'm a commentary guy. I don't know. I can't watch without commentary.
Yeah, I think it's weird without it.
Quiet wrestling.
What did I just see that it was where was I watching it? I was watching some match recently that was like a pre-show match to something, so it didn't have it was that I was talking to you guys about it earlier. They Impact Plus put up that Jon Moxley match.
No commentary?
No commentary on it. And I was like, this is odd. I don't like it.
Very odd.
When it's TV stuff like that, I get it. Bigger companies need it. I love, Taz was on AEW commentary yesterday, and oh my god, it was so good. It has to be top level for me to enjoy it. Tyler, I can listen to Tyler's commentary all fucking day.
Tyler told me a story about it because they used to do loudspeaker commentary at Dreamwave where he used to work.
I hate it. I hate that.
He said that Frankie Kazarian yelled at him and buried him in front of the whole locker room because of it. And he's like, the fuck, dude, you talked over my entire match. And he's like, well, that's what we do here. He's like, what the fuck, man? And he was getting really hot at Tyler. And Christopher Daniels had to calm Kazarian down. Did you guys hear about this?
No.
He was. I was laughing because I was like, "You serious?" Like, dude, you started fucking burying me in front of the entire locker room. Well, who the fuck are you gonna talk over my entire match, man? What the hell kind of shit is this? And Christopher Daniels was like, "No, man, that's what they do here. It's okay." Like, no fucking respect. I was like, did you guys not warn him that it's loudspeaker commentary? He's like, I thought he knew. I just pictured Kazarian not knowing it's loudspeaker commentary and just burying Tyler Voles in front of the entire locker room because he's like, the fuck kind of shit is this? You talk over my entire match?
I hate like if there's one thing that I hate more than anything is loudspeaker commentary. I literally walked. I don't remember what the indie show was, but I walked out.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
Oh, I can't do it.
All right, boys, a couple more matches. Let's get to wrapping this up here. Heritage title match. Hakeem Zayn defeated Chicago's own Paco, new Heritage champion. Karam in his corner, and Hakeem Zayn's corner. This is a story-heavy one. I mean, Paco had the big win last month, right? Like just set the room on fire, got his title from Jake, and then Zayn beats him. Now, people who have been following the story, what the whole thing with Hakeem Zayn's introduction, the mask, the first introduction to him, he attacked Myron and Paco. So this was kind of a natural, within that realm of with Paco in it and everything. I would love to have had a Paco pre-match to build this one up. We didn't get one down, but a lot of Hakeem Zayn. But man, the Hakeem Zayn post-match. Did you guys see the post-match interview he did? Complete. I thought he absolutely
so good.
Danny said a great thing about him, and I thought it was perfect. He's a guy with a chip on his shoulder, and you could hear that. You could that pure passion he has is from having that chip on his shoulder that he has to prove himself and really, really drive home the point he's trying to make and what he's trying to do. And I thought that was a great way to sum it up because he does. His whole thing is like he doesn't get those shots. He doesn't get chances like this. Very few places are taking that chance on him. And especially with Karam, who is the future, I think. And Nate, I remember you telling me about him a while ago, right? Like you told me about Karam. How long ago was that? Before we even had him.
Yeah, it would have been back in August.
In August, right? And I'm like, you're like he's great, and I'm like, dude, I think he is totally the future. And these two just have something to prove, and I love that. But that promo to me, you were in the room, right, Nate, when he cut that one? Were you in the back yet? Okay. No. We were all there. It was like me, Rob, Keith, Jake, Kurt, Besties. And dude, he cut that promo and everybody was like stunned watching it. And then as soon as he was done, we were like, what the fuck? Like everybody was like, holy shit. Because it was so intense. And I was so happy to see that. Because it was so real. Because he does have that chip on his shoulder. And I like that. I like that he's bringing that to him. But it was a great natural progression of what he's doing and where the character is going. I think it's really cool, man. Poor Paco, though, was very sad about losing his title. Paco was very bummed. I hope He was, man. He was. Danny's like, I think he was really sad. He was pretty bummed out backstage. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, he's pretty sad. So I hope somebody bought Paco a drink. But is Paco old enough to drink? I don't even know.
Oh my God.
He's just a kid, man. Just a kid, man. He's Chicago's son, Paco. Right? He's universally loved by this city. I used to not like Paco. Son. He is. I used to not like Paco. And then he grew on me. I was like, yeah, this guy's all right, man. He's all right. I can get behind Paco. He's okay. He's a good kid. But no, it went over really well. It was really cool. I think the only, and Danny agreed with this too, the biggest mistake I think we made with this one, just from a layout point of view, is I don't think it should have been the one right after intermission, because we gave him the mic beforehand, and it's like people were still making their way back to their seats. The effect of him dressing the audience down wasn't fully there because people were still making their way back. And you didn't have everyone's complete attention. You maybe had 70% attention.
But what I will say is that it let people know, hey, get back to your seats.
Yes, that's a good point.
And sometimes, like, especially at Bourbon, it's very easy for that first match after intermission not to have everybody's attention during the match. Mm-hmm. And I'm at least glad everybody was paying attention during the match, because thank God he cut that promo, because I was still editing the photos from the first half to get up for social media.
Yeah.
So I heard Hakeem talking. I was like, oh shit, shit, shit. Like I'm like, at least I'm not missing the match. But yeah, I ran back out there during that match.
No, I'm glad you you had that time. But Nate, did you ref this one? I can't remember.
I did.
Yes. Okay,
And I
cool.
have to say that I agree with you that Hakeem Zayn is out to prove something. I just wish he would do it with a little less nefarious means.
Me. Okay. Example.
Don't be a bad guy.
I mean, I understand right now we have no countouts and no disqualifications, but do you really need to kick Paco in the dick to win a title?
Okay.
Good Paco just beat Jake something a month ago, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Kick him in the dick so you win that title.
Dick kicks are.
He just beat Jake something. Jake something is 3 times the size of Hakeem.
I gotta say though, Nate, your ring presence in this match was fantastic.
Thank you.
You were in the right place at every right moment in this one, and I was like, wow, he really is. Nate's
my favorite ref ever.
He's my favorite ref ever. I think Nate's great.
There's like my like tier of wrestling refs is like Earl Hebner, Nate, and then it just drops off.
Oh, really? You actually put Hebner in that? I wouldn't even bother. It's Nate, and then I don't know any other referees that would even get this high on that list. So I think you're being too nice to Hebner. But you know what Karam was saying? You know what Karam was saying, Nate, was he's like, man, if he was gonna kick me out, I wish I did more on the outside. And I wish I would have attacked Paco even more if he was gonna kick me out from ringside anyway. He's like, I should have laid into him even more if I was already getting kicked out. I was like, kill him, man. Just take him out. I'm like, if you just see Paco in the locker room, just take him out for good measure. Just because you can. Danny was like,
well, I'm glad he didn't.
Danny was like, why are you always targeting Paco?
I do want to speak on that real quick, just because I feel like there's probably going to be some people that, like I mentioned, we're no DQ. So why would I do that? Why would I throw Karam out? I feel like some people, if they haven't already, they're going to start complaining about it. And it's just like, put yourself in my shoes, right? Like,
yeah, assholes.
There's a title on the line. There's there's a line that needs to be drawn somewhere.
Yeah.
And I did what I felt was right in the moment.
I like that because it's still authority. Well, he's still a referee. Like, there's still an authority that has to be observed here, Like,
just because there's no DQs doesn't mean you can be blatantly like he can't get disqualified for it, but doesn't mean Nate doesn't have to do anything about it.
Right. And Nate, you told me this, right? That you were like, you had mentioned, you're like, there's still an authority aspect to this. That whether there's no DQ, he's like, but you are still the authority. So you will do what, like you just said, if it's a title match, there's only so much you're going to get away with because you're interfering with a match that has stakes, that has many stakes to it.
Medium rare,
which I think is great. I think you utilize that and work within that whole no countouts, no DQs thing very, very wisely. I love how you do it. I think that's something, as other referees are a part of it, of AAW, I think that's something you should, I don't want to say train, maybe is the right word, but something like, because I think you have a good handle on it. And I think I want you to like really show that to the other refs. Like, hey, this is the rule that we have, but you can still do this, and this. Like, don't be afraid to flex your authority, etc. Like, for example, I think like Stifler is so used to being a structured referee on TV that I think he doesn't use it as much as you. He doesn't kind of use that authority aspect of within the AAW means of no DQ, no disqualification, or no count out. He doesn't press it enough. And I think I love how you do. I love that. Yeah, you kicked out Karn. Like, yeah, you're interfering with the fucking title match. Get out of here. You know, it's like like I said, I don't want you. Training might be the wrong word, but I think you could definitely suggest it because I love how you do it. I think you make good use of it. So So I love it. It was such a perfect way to do it in this match because then obviously Hakeem still wins by nefarious means, and Karim comes back out. They celebrate. It's like we still did it no matter what, and that's cool. Like, so it's still the story still continues, and you have credibility that you maintain leaving the match. Because you don't want to kill your referee's credibility at the same time. Like, yeah, there might not be no DQs, but you're still a goddamn referee who has to have some authority.
Right.
So, very good, Nate. I'm proud of you, kid. You did okay. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. You're going to be all right. You're going to be okay. I can see you at the top one day. At the top. You hear me? The top. Okay. 2 more matches, boys. 2 more matches. My goal is just to try to pop you 2 at this point as we get long-winded in these reviews. I just try popping you guys towards the end of them.
I'm gonna no-sell you now.
Fine, thanks. We had 3 title matches in a row, huh? 3. So the next one was the tag team title. Who refereed this one, Nate?
Perch.
This was Perch. Okay. Besties taking on Jake and Sammy. This is Jake's return to the company after how long had it been? Does anyone remember? I don't recall how long it had been. Shit, it must not a year.
It's been almost no.
Maybe a year. Could be a year. Been a while though. Because I couldn't even remember the last time we had Dave
Jake. Well, it's been
a long
over
time.
A year because it was before. Because I remember. It's been about a year and a half.
It's crazy, dude. It's a long time, man. No Dave. Dave is still he's not doing AAW, but Jake was, and that's cool. Nice to have Jake there. Him and Sammy. For a while, I was like, these guys kind of like I had never seen these 2 team up though, aside from like 3-mans and Impact. Have they ever done just them 2 as OVE anywhere? Like Nate, any of the shows you've worked in Ohio?
Times.
Have they? Okay.
Rockstar, I thought.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if they've done it at Rockstar or something. Also, can we give a shout out to Jake? Hope he feels better. He just got into a car accident today.
Yeah, he got rear-ended by a
Frito-Lay truck.
Frito-Lay truck.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see that, Nate? Yeah, he got rear-ended pretty bad. Like his back of his car is like jacked. But at the hospital, apparently he's okay, but he's in a lot of pain. So definitely a get well soon to Jake Christ. But that sucks, man. Hopefully he'll be all right to make his tapings and everything coming up. So that sucks though, man. That's a real bummer. Well, they had a show tonight though. And some company I never heard of.
IWA.
Oh, was it IWA? I thought it was something else.
Yeah, it's IWA Mid-South he was at.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something else. I thought I read something else. Man, definitely shout out to Jake. This match, I saw bits and pieces. I was back and forth. But I figure anything with these 4 is a hit, no matter what. Did you guys Basil, you probably saw us straight up, and what did you think of this one?
This was a fun match because it was a different element because you have 3 high flyers in this match, and then you have Sammy's brawling style.
Mm-hmm.
So they played the really good heel part of keeping Dave away from Fitchett to tag in. So Fitchett got that really nice hot tag. Everybody hit Canadian Destroyers on one another in this match. Everybody hit a Canadian Destroyer, even Sammy. And,
really?
Yeah.
I've never seen him hit a Canadian Destroyer.
Maybe you should watch our shows. It's on FITE TV. I'll give you a code.
You have a free code?
Yeah.
I have to order our own show?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's for the business, brother.
It's for the business. Okay.
It's a tax deductible.
Is it a tax deduction? Can I write this off?
You can write it off.
Do you write off your photography stuff?
Duh.
Nate, do you write off wrestling related stuff on your taxes?
Do I report my minuscule earnings to the IRS.
Well, cash doesn't get reported, obviously.
I got a W2 last
year.
You do not get a W2? PayPal, yeah. Unless you get a W2, you don't have to report shit.
Yeah, I have W2s with.
We're all getting audited next year.
I have W2s with 2 companies.
Yeah,
obviously, we know which ones they are.
Jesus, name drop.
Freelance and
Zello
and Chicago Style Wrestling.
Oh, that's right.
That starts this year.
Nice. So Besties retained, guys. No tag title change on this one, but the Besties, their run's been pretty decent. This has been a nice little run they're having. So I think we're going into we wanted the 2020 Besties as champions, and they're also the Evolve champions, correct?
They just won the Evolve Tag Team Champions.
So the Besties are on top of the world, man. Doing well. Good dudes. Really good dudes. So, they're obviously AAW staples. We'll be seeing them more. I'm not sure. Actually, I do know who the next opponents are, and you guys will find out soon. So we got some good stuff planned for the.
Tell us after I stopped
the stop button.
That's all it is.
All right, deal. All right, main event, boys. This is the one to split the beef. Let's talk about this one here. This one has the story. So as we know, Fatu is a no-show. That's a shoot for anybody wondering. And I know some people were. Whether it was
MLW had nothing to do with it.
MLW had nothing to do with it. They did not. This was a Fatu complete no-show. Some can argue it's the second time he completely no-showed. The first one was questionable. But this is the second one. It's kind of, burn me twice, shame on me at this point. But we had faith in this. We went for the title. We built up a title match with story, with a lot of video. Rob did a lot of amazing work with the video, with hype stuff. And day of, we're told he's not there. So we send Josh out to address it, basically. Now, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, because people were all in my ear on this, because the second Josh came out and said he wasn't, or he didn't have an opponent, anybody who knew that I had a staff badge on turned around and started asking me 1,000 questions in this moment. I didn't hear everything Josh said. Did Josh say it? Was he like, Fatu no show? Dick, what did he say?
No, he said Fatu isn't here.
Okay.
Basically called him a flavor of the month.
Okay.
And he said that Fatu, was packing his bag to leave and then decided not to leave because he was scared of Josh.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So it was done that way. And I wish I heard that, because, like I said, everybody, the second it was mentioned in whatever capacity, or even before, people were like, "Wait, is he not here?" I'm like, "Dude, just watch." Look, I'm missing all this. But that sucks, right? We can address this right now. It totally sucks. It was a no-show. I think it really blows. I think it's a slap in the face to the promotion, the fans. It's really insulting to everybody. I feel like you got a plane ticket. Yeah, you were advertised. You should always make your dates, which is something Josh has been putting out there. He put a thing out today to even kind of loosely address that, about how you should always make your dates. You should show up, and I feel like that's common courtesy. Just, you can show up at least, and you want to talk business when you get there, talk business. But it's just rude. I think it's just very rude to no show somebody. It's like standing somebody up on a date. But as timing and logic would have it, guys, Mance Warner got reinstated because of Good Brother number 3's win. So who answered the open challenge? I got to say, I think at first, now, Nate, you were there in the ring, right? You had this one.
I did.
Did you notice, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I caught. When the music hit, I don't think everybody realized it right away. And it wasn't a roar. I was like, oh my God, it's going to be Mance. It was kind of like there was half the crowd was kind of unsure. And then until he came out and got even further onto the stage, people were like, oh shit, wait a minute. So it was kind of a delayed response, right?
Because Mance was always at Logan.
Yes, totally. So it was interesting to see how many people weren't familiar with the music and essentially Mance. But Nate, did you catch that? Like you were right there inside the ring. Did you feel that too?
I did, yeah. And I feel like because it's been since what, June that we haven't heard his music.
Right. That's a big part of it, for sure. So, but I love that when they realized it, it was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's going to be oh, shit. It was a cool surprise. I think from a logic point of view, it made a lot of sense, which I think is great. Given the stuck situation we were in, it still made sense from a logic point of view. So I thought that was cool. So Mance ends up winning. I did not, again, another one with the finish. It was a very basic clothesline finish.
It was a lariat, you motherfucker.
Sorry.
It was a lariat, for one. And two, it was the second one that he had hit.
Yes.
And three, his arm was wrapped with a chain.
I'm sorry. I didn't catch that.
No, never mind. That was in the.
Oh, wait a minute.
Sir.
Was I about to be called a motherfucker by Nate for not catching that detail?
No. Good brother finished.
I love how now it hit all three of us. and me and Nate talked about the last podcast.
The what?
Me and Nate talked about the last podcast at the show.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Let's move on. Rob can edit this out, right?
Rob doesn't touch this. Rob doesn't even have time for it. Dude, we're like 4 hours past Rob's bedtime.
Oh my god, Rob's been asleep since yesterday. That's how past the bedtime is. No, he wins. So it's a lariat. Fine, a lariat. He wins it. It was the second one. I did catch that. But man, again another delayed reaction. I don't think it hit people that he won the belt until like 6 seconds after the pinfall was
I think it's definitely something they weren't expecting.
Not at all. I think people are like, what the fuck? Wait, what? It was like until they got over the shock and then the reaction and then the post-match celebration, which everybody was so hesitant. He's like, come on in. Come on. And everyone's like, oh, should I go in? And I'm like, Baz, I saw you on one side. I'm like, go, everybody go. Go in. They're like, what? And I'm like, go, get the fuck in there. Like, oh shit. And then one guy finally did, and then everybody followed suit and got in there. And it was a fucking blast. Merle was having a heart attack because his ring was bending. I looked at one point, I'm like, holy shit, the ring is going to collapse.
Yeah, we're going to have that ECW moment.
Announcement.
Well, Jimmy made the ECW announcement, right? Nate, he's like, we don't want to happen. What happened at ECW? And then Mad Justice gets on the mic and goes, I do. Did you guys catch that?
No, I did not hear that.
Jimmy's like, guys, we're at capacity. We don't want another ECW moment where the ring collapses. And Mad Justice just goes, I want it. And I was like, who the fuck said that? And I'm like, and it was Mad Justice. So I thought that was funny. But I just looked at the underneath the ring and it was bowing. And I was like, oh, fuck. This thing is going to go. And Merle, I look at Merle and he looks so angry. Like, he's like, what the fuck are these motherfuckers doing to my ring? Dude, they were all over. But it was a total blast. Basil, you got the most iconic photo, I think, to end the decade. Classic picture.
I did what I can. That might have been a little bit less organic than what people see on that photo.
I think it's a very, very good photo. It's one of those I feel it's gonna just go down.
Well, he was about to walk out, and he was done. Like he was just in the corner, and everybody was like just in the ring, and I was like, yeah, I mean, man, I was like, Manser, get in the middle, and then people start picking him up, and then I was just like, just start chanting. I'm like, just start saying AAW, and just start going crazy. And then people were just nuts after that shot, and then I just took the shots, and it was good. It was a good shot to have for us to end the decade.
No doubt. No, Nate, were you in the ring? Or did you get the fuck out of Dodge on that one?
I mean, when the match was over, I left, and then I was like, I heard some stuff going on back up in the ring, and I looked through the curtain, and I was like, oh, bunch of people in the ring, awesome.
Yeah, it's we can jump in the ring anytime and whatnot, and Nate, you're always in the ring, but for a lot of people, like they don't get this. I mean, for them, that's a huge deal to get inside of a wrestling ring, right? Like you can't just jump in there. So it was very special to the fans to get into there. Like I remember the first time I got into a ring, it was a big deal. Like holy shit, I'm actually in the ring. Cool. So it's cool, and then, like we kind of take it for granted. Like yeah, we're in there whenever, but the reaction people were having, they were so excited to be a part of that moment, and it's like man, it was cool to see because like we don't get to be fans like that anymore as much. So I love seeing people get to live that out. It was fun to see people have that good time. Because it was really a special moment. And, Mansour's the type, he's so proud of being a part of the company. He's so proud of being the champion. He was so grateful, and he loved it, man. So I couldn't think of a better guy to end the decade with, to go into 2020 as champion. And he loves the company. He's very loyal to the company. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what we do with him, for sure.
Same.
But yeah, that was it, guys. That was the Windy City Classic 15. How long was this episode, Basil? My goodness.
We're at an hour 35.
Wow, no, hour 35. Beautiful. Very nice though. Statistically, last year, the Windy City Classic review was our highest rated episode. So hopefully we can do that again. So if you're listening, guys, thank you in advance for that. Hopefully you enjoyed it. But guys, I think honestly, we built this show. We title it. It's like our WrestleMania, whatever you want to call it. But it really is. It's treated that way. It's treated like our biggest show, and I think it had that feel. Did you guys feel that, Nate? Did you feel that big show feel going into this one?
Yes, absolutely.
And being a part. I mean, refereeing it, like especially that main event, which is going to go down as a very legendary main event. I think that has to be a cool moment. Just to know, like you were there for Mansour. I don't think Mansour's not had a world or a heavyweight title anywhere yet, right? I don't think he's held a main title.
He's been CZW champion.
Has he? Okay.
Maybe IWA Mid-South.
Got it. Okay. All right. So I stand corrected on that. Well, he's very happy to be a part of it. I think he's excited. AAW's got a lot of name value and recognition, so he's a good dude to have such a special moment with. And Danny's happy with it too. So that's the important thing. The boss is happy. So I'm looking forward to 2020, guys. I'm looking forward to doing more stuff with y'all. We're heading to Texas in a week, right, gentlemen?
True.
So anyway, listen, we're going to Texas for Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill. We'll be down there. We're flying in on the night of the 10th. Nate, you're getting there on the 11th. There is basically a fan fest show, type house show on Saturday, and then the pay-per-view Sunday. So if you guys are around, come say hello. But we'll be there, man. We'll be in Texas. Barbecue, gentlemen. Barbecue on tap.
For sure.
Times a billion.
Barbecue Saturday morning, please.
Deal. That's what we're gonna do, then, guys.
Because I'm not working a show until 6:00 that night. Beautiful. And I'm not doing anything else before then that pertains to wrestling.
Okay. I got to find a barbecue place that's near the Bomb Factory because some listeners of the Total Nonstop Impact Pod are like, we need to do a meetup before the pay-per-view. I'm like, all right, find a barbecue place and we'll all have lunch before the pay-per-view. So I'll find out what's going on with that too. So if anybody's got any suggestions, let me know. But yeah, guys, if you're in town, come say hello to us. But we're excited. Last year, a year ago, almost to the day, we were in Nashville all together for Impact. So kind of cool we're doing it again. I think we're starting the year off pretty nicely, gentlemen.
Same way, yeah.
So it's cool. Cool.
It's funny because we have a show right before the pay-per-view. But this time doesn't involve a 9-hour drive.
No, it does not. No, it does not. Where we're fighting sleep to make it happen. But I'm glad we're going to go in nice and rested. Courtesy of Southwest Airlines. All right, guys, let's get some plugs in. Nate, where can people find you?
At Ref Nate Speckman on Twitter and Instagram.
Guys, give him a follow. Booking can also go through there, right? Slide into those DMs, book the man.
Absolutely.
You know, he's a main event referee. Book him for your main events. He's been on TV. He's been on Impact Plus specials. He's been on Twitch specials. He's got experience. So he's a seasoned, grizzled young vet. Basil, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BZ. That's a B, 2 E's, 4 Z's, and a Y. And all my photos can be found at basilmahmud.com, BASILMAHMUD.com. And where can they find you, Trent?
You guys can find me at Vanilla Joke on Instagram and Twitter, as well as Hemi Music, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I think I'm going to be starting a public Instagram, guys, under the regular name. I've had Vanilla Joke since I was a kid, and I just kept it going. So I think I'm going to start a regular one, and I'll be getting that established soon. But speaking of Instagrams, Basil, with the new year, do we have a new Instagram for the Backstage Boys podcast?
That would imply that we had an old one.
Oh, yeah. Do we have an Instagram at all?
We do not have an old one, so we can't make a new one yet. Maybe next week.
Maybe next week it is. All right, maybe our Instagram will be hard to kill, or maybe hard to establish as well. But
such a bad fucking play on words.
It was. I was trying. But in the meantime, guys, you can connect with the show at the BSB Show on Twitter and Facebook. Just type in the BSB Show, and the Backstage Boys podcast comes up. Also, you can find this podcast wherever podcasts are found: Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, YouTube. Rate, review, subscribe. Get a hold of us. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Give us your feedback. We appreciate you guys for all the downloads, the listens. 2019 was very good to us. We're really, really grateful, especially during that big sabbatical we had in the middle of the year for no reason, Basil. But people stuck with us. And we definitely hit our year mark. And
no
then some.
Reason.
Well, it was reasons. Because reasons.
Because of reasons.
I also found out, guys, that we're on like random ass. Like there's so many random podcast platforms that no one like I've ever heard uses, but like podcaster.player.fm.3.45. And it's like, what the fuck is this? And it's like some podcast platform that we're on as well. So there's like a million little podcast platforms that we're on. If you listen on those, guys, thank you very much. But definitely connect with us on the big ones. We're on all of them. Don't forget to leave feedback and let us know how you think we did. But that's going to do it for us, guys. We'll try to maybe squeeze one in before we leave for Hard to Kill. If not, we'll definitely. That's what she said. Yes, we'll definitely squeeze it in there. If we don't, we'll definitely get one on the way back.
No, can we do one next week? I'm sick of doing these podcasts like every other week.
All right, deal. We will do a preview before we leave for Hard to Kill, and then a recap when we come back. Deal? Very nice. Okay, I'll answer my own questions. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for the delayed deal. Thank you for joining us, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good 2020. Happy New Year, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.